The movie begins by telling us about a discovery made many years ago in the mountains of China. Lots of ancient fossils were found there. Fossils are what's left of animals that lived long ago. A team called Bureau 789 was put together to investigate these findings. As they explored the caves in the mountains with scientists, they stumbled upon a human-like skull. It looked like a human skull, but it wasn't. It seemed like it might be made up of two human skulls fused together. Later on, another team called Bureau 749 was given the job of digging deeper into the mountain, perhaps searching for something specific. They came across the skull of a huge creature and brought it out. But as they retrieved the skull, the cave suddenly exploded, sending out powerful electric waves that destroyed everything in their path. Following the incident, scientist Yang decided to explore the cave further, which was no small task. She selected some soldiers for the mission, including her daughter Yang Pin. And the main character of the movie, Hu Bai-yi, along with his friend and several others, joined the team. As they ventured into the cave, they eventually reached a place believed to be inhabited by a ghostly tribe, where ghosts were said to have once lived. However, the tribe had vanished. Upon exiting the cave on the other side of the mountain, they discovered a giant creature's footprint in the snow. This sight shocked scientist Yang, prompting her to immediately report the discovery to her headquarters director. As they proceeded, they encountered many unusual blue bats, distinct from the common ones. These bats attacked scientist Yang, but one soldier managed to capture one of them. However, upon capturing the bat, the soldier's hand began to burn, eventually turning his entire body into a skeleton. These bats were dubbed fire bats due to their fiery nature. Despite evading the bats, their troubles were far from over. A colossal monster emerged, causing the mountain to quake with each step it took. The frozen snow on the mountain cracked, triggering a fierce snowstorm. In the chaos, people scrambled to escape, but many were buried alive under the snow and perished. Some survivors sought refuge by jumping into a nearby ditch, hoping to avoid the avalanche. Unfortunately, luck was not on their side, as the frozen snow in the ditch had sharp, pointed edges, piercing the bodies of those seeking shelter and claiming their lives. Meanwhile, the movie's main characters, Hu Bai-yi and Yang Pin, found themselves tied together with a rope. When they fell into the ditch, instead of meeting the same fate as others, they managed to cling to a snow pillar within the ditch. However, their respite was short-lived as the rope weakened, causing them to plummet. The scene shifts, and sometime later, Hu Bai-yi regains consciousness to find himself and Yang Pin miraculously alive. To their relief, Yang Pin's father, Scientist Yang, and his friend had also survived. Scientist Yang leads them forward until they reach a tower known as the Demon Tower, a place she had been searching for a long time. The entire mystery of the movie is said to be concealed within this tower. As Scientist Yang lights a candle before the tower, the structure ignites, and a beam of light emanates from the spot where the candle was lit, hinting at the significance of the location and the secrets it holds. The scientist explains to Hu Bai-yi and his daughter, Yang Ping, that the tower has been sealed for a long time, awaiting someone to open it. She urges them to enter, and as they do, the top of the tower begins to open, emitting a brilliant light as if a door of light has been unlocked. Souls of many people are seen emerging from the tower, and the stones around it lose their gravitational pull. However, before the tower can fully open, Hu Bai-yi's companion accidentally steps on the candle lit by the scientist, causing the tower's top to close again as the candle goes out. It is revealed that the captain had intentionally sabotaged the opening of the Demon Tower because he did not want it to be opened, with the reasons yet to be disclosed. The man confesses to Hu Bai-yi that during the previous attack by the fire bats, Hu Bai-yi's friend sacrificed himself to distract the bats and allow others to escape, ultimately becoming the target of the bats' attraction. As the people move away and the bats converge on him, he detonates an explosive, sacrificing himself to eliminate many of the fire bats. However, some bats remain, chasing after the other people, including Hu Bai-yi, Yang Ping, and her father. They reach a cascading stream, attempting to escape from the bats. In a desperate moment, a bat attacks Hu Bai-yi, prompting Yang Ping to swiftly push him into the water, following suit herself. However, their refuge in the water proves short-lived as a terrifying creature lurking beneath the surface attacks them. Though Hu Bai-yi manages to survive, Yang Ping falls victim to the creature. The scene shifts to Hu Bai-yi in a hospital, where the director of Bureau 749 informs him that all team members, except for him, have perished. He is the sole survivor of the ordeal. Feeling immense sadness over the loss of his friend Yang Ping, Hu Bai-yi decides not to return to his previous job. Instead, he seeks solace in a librarian position, where he is hired by Mr. Yang to work in his library. They share a meal at a restaurant, where Hu Bai-yi unexpectedly encounters his childhood friend. Meanwhile, Team Bureau 749, of which Hu Bai-yi was once a member, discovers Yang Ping in an old coffin. However, she has no memory of her past, likely due to the accident. In a shocking twist, Yang Ping's father is found alive 1,200 miles away from the accident site. The scene shifts to a destroyed city, devoid of any signs of habitation. Strange creatures have ravaged the city, leaving it desolate and abandoned. In a meeting between scientist Yang and the team director, the scientist confesses to a grave mistake that led to the destruction of the city. She inadvertently opened a portal to another world, unleashing numerous creatures and aliens causing chaos. Scientist Yang expresses the need to halt these events. Hu Baiyi, having learned from the library that scientist Yang had previously visited the Demon Tower and even authored a book about it, is perplexed by her renewed interest in the tower. Confused by these conflicting facts, he begins researching the Demon Tower and experiences a sudden burning sensation at his waist, similar to the fire bats that consume people. Hu Baiyi's friend, who encountered him in the restaurant, rushes to extinguish the fire, but Hu Baiyi forcefully throws him away, opting not to be helped. Then, displaying unusual abilities, he levitates all objects in the room with his newfound powers. At that moment, Mr. Wang, the librarian, arrives and uses his own magic to lower all the objects in the room and extinguish the fire on Hu Baiyi's body. The sudden manifestation of powers in Hu Baiyi prompts questions about how he acquired them so quickly, considering he was previously a normal individual. Mr. Wang reveals that Hu Baiyi gained his powers due to the attack of the fire bats. As the discussion unfolds, it becomes apparent that Mr. Wang is not an ordinary librarian. He is a guardian of an ancient ritual. With a single glance, he transforms the surroundings into an icy cold realm. Mr. Wang explains that aliens had arrived a decade ago, and the Demon Tower served as their gateway to Earth. Shockingly, Hu Baiyi's parents had eliminated these aliens when they began harming humans. To prevent further intrusion, Mr. Wang sealed the Demon Tower with his own body. In the preceding scene, scientist Yang had disclosed to the director that she unintentionally opened the portal to the aliens' world, which was, in fact, the opening of the Demon Tower. Some aliens had consequently entered Earth. Mr. Wang informs Hu Baiyi that the tower had been sealed by his parents, and Hu Baiyi's blood is now required to reopen it. This revelation clarifies the scientist's motive in taking Hu Baiyi to the tower. Mr. Wang further reveals that a decade ago, after Hu Baiyi's parents returned the aliens to their world, some aliens had stayed behind, marrying humans. Their offspring, like Yang Ping, are half aliens and half human. Meanwhile, scientist Yang, having left her team, had provided her direction on a piece of paper. The director of Team Bureau 749 approaches Hu Baiyi, seeking his help in finding scientist Yang. Hu Baiyi hesitates, questioning how he can achieve this. The director informs him that Yang Ping was encountered a few days ago and that she believes only Hu Baiyi can locate the scientist. With this information, the director departs, leaving Hu Baiyi with a new mission. Excited by the news of Yang Ping's survival, Hu Baiyi confides in Mr. Wang and expresses his desire to search for scientist Yang. Mr. Wang reveals that the tower's door had partially opened during Hu Baiyi's previous visit, allowing numerous aliens to enter. Despite this, Mr. Wang grants Hu Baiyi permission to embark on his search. Accompanied by his childhood friend, Hu Baiyi sets out to find Yang Ping, but he is disheartened upon meeting her as she has no memory of her past and introduces herself as Shirley. Meanwhile, a student of scientist Yang, the mission chief, joins Yang Ping and others in the search for the scientist. Hu Baiyi shares his suspicion that scientist Yang may be on a specific mission. As they rest, a fierce storm suddenly engulfs the desert where they are camped. They scramble to escape, but some members become separated in the chaos. Some of the group members venture into the city, which had been ravaged by the creatures. The sight of the destroyed city leaves them in shock. Hu Baiyi's friend, who had separated from the group, joins the quest armed with this information. However, an elderly man in their team advises against Hu Baiyi's involvement, stating that they won't get lost if they follow the animals, as they know the desert's ways. On the other side, the rest of the group with Hu Baiyi's friend encounters a monstrous creature in the city, leading to casualties. Hu Baiyi's friend discovers a bicycle and, along with another survivor, manages to reach Hu Baiyi, filled with fear and recounting the horrors they faced. He pleads with everyone to leave the area. Hu Baiyi, now reunited with his friend, is eager to escape, but the mission chief remains adamant about continuing the mission. The chief reveals that their goal is not just to find scientist Yang but also to locate and deal with the creatures victimizing the people. Despite Hu Baiyi's insistence on leaving, the mission chief is resolute in pursuing their objective. Hu Baiyi urges Yang Ping to leave, but she refuses, determined to stay. The mission chief questions Hu Baiyi's reluctance, reminding him of the lives lost on the mountain. Hu Baiyi considers their sentiments but remains cautious. As they converse, they hear the ominous sounds of approaching creatures. They prepare themselves, clutching their weapons tightly. When the monsters attack, they retaliate, managing to bring down one of them with gunfire. However, their relief is short-lived as another creature emerges from behind, forcing them to continue their battle. Despite their efforts to fend off the second creature, it evades their gunfire and charges forward. Yang Ping finds herself in its path, prompting Hu Baiyi to chase after her. They stumble upon a chilling room with corpses hanging from the ceiling and a gaping pit in the floor. Outside, many creatures loom ominously, preparing to confront them. Hu Baiyi finds himself in a tunnel that leads to a different world, the same one shown to him by the librarian who claimed to take care of this world. In this new realm, a creature attacks Hu Bai, causing him to fall. Shirley appears and interacts with the creature as if it were her pet, and the creature behaves politely in return. Shirley magically places Hu Bai's body in a coffin, and to Hu Bai's astonishment, all his wounds heal in the process. Hu Bai wakes up inside the demon tower, the same location seen at the beginning of the movie. As he regains consciousness, he recalls glimpses of his past. When Yang Ping was attacked in the water by a creature, it took her to the demon tower, emitting a soul-like light upon arrival. This spirit enchanted Yang Ping, transforming her into the entity named Shirley. The revelation clarifies that Yang Ping was actually Shirley, not Yang Ping. The soul of Shirley, an alien entity, had emerged from the demon tower, may be considered as an alien. In the unfolding scenes, it becomes evident that Shirley is behind the attacks orchestrated by the creatures. She targets Hu Bai and his friend, prompting the latter to swiftly seek refuge in a bus. However, the creature relentlessly pursues them, causing extensive damage to the bus. Simultaneously, the focus shifts back to the demon tower, where Hu Bai finds himself. Shirley, now fully embodying Yang Ping, implores Hu Bai to open the tower portal, emphasizing his unique ability to do so. She promises to return Yang Ping if he complies. When Hu Bai remains unconvinced, Shirley resorts to threats, vowing to harm his team members if he refuses. Unfazed, Hu Bai stands his ground, warning Shirley that he will retaliate if she harms anyone. He remains resolute in his decision not to open the tower. In response, Shirley transports Hu Bai to where his companions are battling Shirley's creatures, setting the stage for a climactic confrontation. In the heat of the battle, Hu Bai finds himself gravely wounded by one of the creatures. Just as he is on the brink of death, Yang Ping, completely under Shirley's control, intervenes to save him from the monsters. She cradles his head in her lap, and Hu Bai, despite recognizing her as his friend Yang Ping, fires his gun at her, causing Shirley's soul to dissipate along with her monstrous creations. With Shirley's demise, the demon tower vanishes from existence. In her final moments, Shirley acknowledges that only Hu Bai had the power to end her. With her last breath, Shirley releases her hold on Yang Ping's body, causing Yang Ping's demise as Hu Bai's gunshot hits her. Although devastated by Yang Ping's death, Hu Bai remains determined and carries her to the ritual site guarded by Mr. Wang. Mr. Wang had previously revealed that the coffin Hu Bai brought Yang Ping to could be used for resurrection. With this knowledge in mind, Hu Bai places Yang Ping into the coffin, intent on bringing her back to life. As Yang Ping's background is disclosed, the process of resurrection begins. It is revealed that Yang Ping's father, a scientist, had married an alien, resulting in Yang Ping inheriting alien genes that granted her the ability to revive living beings. Despite her capability, Yang Ping's mother had forbidden her from using her powers due to the risk it posed to Yang Ping's own life. Yang Ping's father sought the demon tower in hopes of finding a cure for the curse that could shorten Yang Ping's life. The scene at the beginning of the movie, where the characters are trapped in a snowy ditch, is shown to be a fatal accident. However, Yang Ping, utilizing her magical powers, resurrects them, revealing her extraordinary abilities. This unique power allowed her to bring the deceased back to life, a gift no one else possessed. Despite her remarkable abilities, the coffin used to revive humans fails to resurrect Yang Ping herself, leaving her friend Hu Bai devastated. As the movie concludes, the creature responsible for the chaos is shown to still be alive, leaving the audience with an open-ended conclusion. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.